Clash of the Castle was an absolute success. Scotland's first ever PLE was won for the record books. Storylines was progressed, titles changed hands, and not only that, the crowd was absolutely insane. But thank you for selecting Most Love Wrestling. Now before we get into the ins and outs of Clash of the Castle, do your boy a favour, click the like button. And while you're there, you might as well subscribe. Fuck it, hit the bell too. It's good for the algorithm. And if you like what I'm doing and think that other people should bear witness, then that's definitely a step in the right direction. The night started with Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in an I Quit match. Now this match was insane. It was hard hit, it was violent, it was bloody. They fought all over the arena. When I say all over the arena, I mean all over the arena. People went through tables, people was beaten with kendo sticks, belts, steel chairs, even handcuffs was involved. But it all came to a close when Cody Rhodes handcuffed AJ Styles to the ropes, held the steel steps over his head, which weigh about 100 pounds plus, and threatened to crush his skull. The visual of Cody Rhodes with the steel steps in his hand was enough to make AJ Styles say the words, "I quit." But if you think he saved himself, you're absolutely wrong. Cody Rhodes personally had enough of his bullshit, so he clobbered him with the steel steps anyway. When Cody Rhodes is celebrating, Solo Sikoa is standing behind him clapping. Cody, like the rest of us, think what the hell is going on? That's when we see it's an ambush. The rest of the bloodline come running out and assault Cody. But the bloodline ain't learned yet. Wherever they are, KO's not too far behind. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton running for the save. Now we've got a 6-man melee in the aisle. The baby faces stand tall and the bloodline retreats. So now we know we're getting a 6-man tag on SmackDown in the main event. Now I bear the question, what's next for AJ Styles? And I think he's going TNA. We already seen Tate and Paxley make her way there. So we know that it doesn't mean that he's going there permanently, but he's gonna go make some appearances. And after all, that is the true house that AJ Styles built. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match was actually more exciting than I thought it was going to be. My thing is I don't usually like triple threat tag team matches, only on 2K because regular tag team takes way too long. But yeah, it went the way you thought it would go. Bianca and Jade dominating, Isla Dawn and Alba Fire basically not doing too much. Alba Fire did do this insane dive to the outside though, we gotta give her some credit. Jade Cargill accidentally slipped off the rope during a hot tag, but she recovered really well and delivered this sick looking powerbomb big boot combination. Gotta respect it. However, what I don't respect is her tapping out and hiding it from the referee. Shayna Baszler is gonna be a handful on Raw this week. Bianca Belair broke up the submission situation with a 450 splash, and she hit it with her knees too. RIP Shayna. They hit the assisted German finish, and it's 1-2-3. But not 1-2-3 and still, it's 1-2-3 and new. The witches allowed Bianca and Jade Cargill to do the damage, and they snuck in last minute for the kill. And now they're the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and they done it in front of their hometown, their friends and family. They was all celebrating. And shout out to Alba Fire, this one's for your mum, man. Like I said before, some things are more important than kayfabe, and I'm glad you got this. Bianca Belair, you know I love you, but we had to do what was right. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now this match is everything you thought it would be. And we've got another fucking QR code, and they didn't debut, but this time their QR code was a bit more interesting, so I'll extend their deadline. They've got till next Monday. So what I'm saying is if they do not appear on either Raw or SmackDown this week, whatever respective brand they're planning to be on, then I'm gonna do what I said, I'm gonna kill somebody. But back to the Intercontinental Championship match. This match is exactly what you thought it would be. Chad Gable trying to manipulate the Alpha Academy into doing something wrong, and Sami Zayn trying to convince them that they need to follow their heart and listen to the fans. It wasn't so much Otis that was the main center of attention in this one. It was more Maxine from my interpretation. Chad Gable was actually about to let her take an Aluva kick. He is not okay. But there was a few moments where I did genuinely believe his plan was about to pay off. He capitalizes with the chaos theme, but Sami still survives, and this man's such a piece of shit that even though because of his actions, her leg's currently in a brace, and she was just about to swallow her Helluva kick, this remorseless human being still steps to her to admonish and berate her. But this time the big man Otis steps in, and despite all of that, he still takes the bullet from Sami Zayn for Chad. Chad doesn't care about nobody but himself. He hits a moonsault and just takes them both out, both being Sami and Otis. Both Sami's arm and leg is worked over throughout the match. So there comes a moment where he's supposed to deliver the Helluva kick, but his body fails him. There's a pivotal moment in this match where Sami Zayn's locked in the ankle lock across the barricade. His reversal results in Chad Gable slamming into Maxine's bad ankle. If you see it from Otis's perception, it would appear that he chop blocked her, and now Otis is big mad, but he's still conflicted. He's about to take it out on Sami Zayn, but Maxine calls to him, and Otis, being the gentleman that he is, he picks up Maxine and abandons Chad Gable at ringside. Chad Gable's too distracted worrying about Otis and Maxine leaving. Sami Zayn capitalizes with a Helluva kick. 1, 2, 3. And still your Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. I think Monday night will be the night where Otis turns for real, and I also think that's when we get the introduction of the new Alpha Academy. Sami's going to bring them to the ring to disrespect them some more. He's going to try to victimize Maxine, and this time Otis is going to have seen enough. But whilst Chad Gable's begging for his life, his prayers are going to be answered by the Creed brothers. I'm not quite sure if Ivy now will be a part of this faction now, later, or at all. WWE Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Piper Niven. Shout out to Chelsea Green, she was really rocking that shit. Now we're in Scotland, but you'd never know the way the crowd's pro Bayley. This is a David and Goliath style fight. Bayley constantly trying to take the fight to Piper, but Piper just being overwhelmingly strong. This was a good showing for Piper Niven. While she's been on the main roster, she's not been able to display her moveset. Everything she does is so physical and believable. The main roster need to give her more opportunities than the ones that she's getting. Her Michinoku driver and her Black Hole Slam, that's just a couple of honourable mentions in her moveset. And if I'm going to be honest, this match did cook. It wasn't the best match of the night. I'd probably even give that to Cody Rhodes or Drew McIntyre. But this is what I'm talking about with Chelsea Green's character work. This woman puts on a luchador's mask and comes running out back to the ring like we don't know that it's her. And Wade Barrett's even playing along. Like, you're wearing the same fit. We know it's you. She just ends up getting wrapped up by Bayley. The match ends with a crucifix driver and stacks up Piper for the 1, 2, 3. So Bayley and Steel. Now whilst this match was predictable, they've done a good job of getting me behind Piper Niven going forward. I've not been interested in this woman since the demise of NXT UK, but now I'm back on board. Now the next stop is Money in the Bank, which is in Toronto, Canada. Canada, which is the home of Chelsea Green. And I see a world where both of them win her Money in the Bank. And maybe there is some juice left in this Bayley title run. Maybe I was wrong. I think she's currently in her OP phase. All of the secondary top guys kind of get this type of run at some point. Whilst Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch will constantly be OP, the people just scratching the surface underneath them sometimes get given their time to shine. Randy Orton had his one in 2011, the times where he's feuding with Christian. Sheamus had his one the year after that. But that's how far the women's division in WWE's come. It's not only men that get their OP run, because remember the latest one was Seth Rollins last year. Now women can get the OP run. I don't remember seeing it in the women's division before. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. Oh yeah, and speaking of Money in the Bank, the qualifying matches start Monday. So if the results from Clash of the Castle wasn't enough to tune in, now you got even more reason with the Money in the Bank qualifiers. Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew got the bagpipes entrance, got the promo package before his walkout, and it really was a Drew McIntyre crowd. They legitimately was going crazy for Drew McIntyre. Let's just put it like this. These two are just destroying each other, and no one maintains control and momentum throughout the whole match. It's constant reversals, but it always results in something high impact. There was nothing technical about it, but Drew McIntyre is one hell of an athlete, and he showed that tonight. This man's 275 pounds, but nimble. These times I'm like 100 pounds lighter than him, but can barely lift my leg up. There was a scary moment in this match when Priest went for his springboard dive, and unlike Jade Cargill before him, he did not recover, at least not immediately. It was a scary sight seeing him hung up in the ropes, and I could have swore I saw his knee hyperextend. I wouldn't be surprised if he finished that match on a torn ACL, MCL, meniscus, but finished the match he did, and Drew McIntyre is a phenomenal worker himself. In a moment where I'm sure that he was worried, he maintained his composure and said, listen, we're still at a live show. So whilst he's trying to help Damian Priest, he's making it seem like I'm only trying to help him because I need to get him back in the ring to pin him. I can't become World Heavyweight Champion like this. It's these type of improvisers and storytellers that you need at the top of your card for situations like this. But it wasn't too long after that Damian Priest was up, standing up, doing spin kicks and all sorts. So I think for the most part he's okay, but he definitely needs to see a doctor. And tell me if you've noticed this as well. I think the deal with Prime is not only the logo in the middle of the match, but I think it's in the main event. You've got to throw an opponent into it. Solo Sikoa this week on SmackDown. It happened at WrestleMania 40. It's probably happened in the other weeks leading up as well. And it happened tonight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Let's see if someone goes packing into the Prime section tomorrow night on Raw. But this match had some big spots. Damian Priest taking a Claymore through the barricade. There was a point where there was constantly countering Claymores into South of Heaven attempts, countering back into Claymores, back into South of Heaven attempts. Like, it truly felt like these two was just trying to finish the match with the biggest move that they got, because they had already kicked out of each other's finishing moves at this point, so they knew that one more would be all it would take, and that one more was landed by Drew McIntyre, the third Claymore of the match, which by the way, This is the best referee in the game. His athleticism is incredible. He leaps out of the ring at the last second and avoids getting knocked down. But when the wrestling gods decide that a referee is going down, you can only avoid it for so long. He did end up getting knocked down again. And with that third claymore that was landed, him being down, there was nobody to count the 3 for Drew McIntyre. I think the crowd got up to like a 13 count or something like that. You see a new official slide into the ring, and you think that Drew McIntyre is about to be crowned the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But they position the camera so that you can't see the ref, and that was for good reason, because when they changed camera, it was revealed that this ref was no ref at all. It was actually CM Punk. Well, maybe he is a ref. He's already the best wrestler in the world, the best commentator in the world, the best on the stick. Now he's come to drop a pipe bomb on the ref game. He's probably the best ref in the world already with one match. CM Punk is absolutely livid at the sight of CM Punk in his match. He literally grabbed CM Punk by his face. Do you know how mad you gotta be to grab someone by the face? But CM Punk responds with a low blow. And after that grueling match that they just had, a kick to the balls will feel like getting hit by a double barrel shotgun. I'm not sure if Damian Priest knew what was happening, but nonetheless, he sees a prone Drew McIntyre south of heaven chokeslam and retains his World Heavyweight Championship. This match had made me see Damian Priest in a different light. I knew he was good in the ring, and I knew that the match was gonna cook anyway, but I did see him as a transitional champion, no word of a lie. I was saying that he only had the title because he had the briefcase due to an error that they made last year, and now it's put them in this rut. But kayfabe or not, wins and losses matter, and with this win, it's definitely elevated him in my mind. But Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, possibly the rivalry of the year. If The Rock and Cody did not happen, this would definitely be the match of the year. For me, you can pick either of them. You can pick The Rock and Cody, or you can pick Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk as your rivalry of the year. I will not argue with you, because you will be right no matter which one of them you pick, as long as you pick one of those two. I need to know if CM Punk is clear, and I need to know whether that will be ahead of SummerSlam, because if we're not getting The Rock and Cody at SummerSlam, or Cody and Roman 3, it should definitely be a situation where Drew McIntyre and CM Punk close the show, even if there's no title in line, which there will not be, because unfortunately Drew McIntyre has failed in Scotland, thanks to CM Punk. I thought that they was going to do this on a later date with Jey Uso with the Money in the Bank. Still have CM Punk be the reason that Drew McIntyre is screwed out of the World Heavyweight Championship, and I thought they would do that just to elevate more storylines, as him and Jey Uso also have beef, and that would also allow Gunther to get his one-on-one babyface versus heel for the World Heavyweight title against Jey Uso at SummerSlam. But clearly Triple H has a different vision from that. And if I've learned anything over the last year or so, I've learned just to let Triple H do his job, despite what genius booking plan that I might have in my head. But this is a situation where you couldn't go wrong. As long as Drew McIntyre is screwed by CM Punk out of the World Heavyweight Championship, the result would be the same. But there's just something that stings a little bit about getting screwed in your hometown. Now I cannot wait to watch Monday Night Raw and see the fallout of this. SmackDown also. But that's my Clash of the Castle review. Thanks for listening to my bullshit. Don't forget to leave a like. Remember to follow or subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below.